will go down in the books, I believe, for many Alcornites out there as one that they will never forget. And unfortunately, the Braves lost in overtime, 35-34, in a game that had its ebbs and flows back and forth. We were down 6-0 up, tie game, and overtime, and you know the rest. Braves head football coach Jay Hopson here. Good evening, Coach.
Good evening, Charles.
Well, Coach, tell you what, I've been in a little bit of a fog the last couple of days. I know as a coach you have to, evaluate things and move ahead, but this was one of the better SWAC games that I've seen, and I've been involved with this conference since 1986. This was a terrific football game.
It was a really hard-fought game. It was tough. It's always never fun to lose those hard-fought games, but certainly we had our chances and didn't take advantage of them. But you just got to keep plugging. It's football.
All right, let's get into the highlights. Give us a call, 601-877-6595, 601-877-6595. We're going to mix in highlights and phone calls throughout the entire show. 25 highlights, Jay Hopson, I was able to pull from this one, and definitely a lot to talk about. So let's get right into it. The Braves won the toss, deferred to the second half. Grambling took the ball at the 25-yard line, and they had a 2nd down and 10 from the 36-yard line early in this one. On 2nd down and 10, and then go back to the run here. Carter sheds a tackle to the 40, 45, 50, down to the 45, up the middle, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, down to the 9-yard line.
Pulled down from behind.
So that was a big run of 54 yards by Carter. So it was 1st down and goal from the 10. On 2nd down, Anthony Williams, the third with a touchdown-saving tackle. He took a timeout, and 3rd down and goal, Jay Hopson, right here. Snapback ball now, kick is up, plenty of leg with folks sitting on the hill, and it's drilled through. So we got to stop, but we were able to hold enough field goal.
It was a nice stand. We certainly didn't want to give up the big play there in the first quarter. Actually, it's kind of like 2 ships passing the night. Our edge guy ran right by the running back, but again, it's a great hustle by Quentin Cantu to get him on the turf and save a touchdown, and the defense had a nice stand there holding 3 points.
It was 3-0 at that point. The Braves' first drive started at their own 28-yard line. The Braves are down 3-0. First time they've been down in 4.5 games. Now the ball is lost, but Grambling says they have it.
He reached for it but wasn't able to pull it in before a Grambling player covered him and took it away.
On the snap, Gibbs, he bobbled it before he could even hand it off to Ragsdale. Bumped off the ball. We were able to see the replay of it, and clearly a tough exchange there.
Yeah, it was. It was a little bit to the left, and certainly, again, got the ball, gave them the ball in good field position a couple of times. We did that too many times Saturday, but another nice stand by the defense. Yeah, the Tigers started at the Braves' 19-yard line. As you mentioned, the defense held, and Orzorko a 38-yard field goal. Snapback ball now, kick is up. Plenty of leg.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Plenty
good.
accuracy, and he's got it. So it was 6-0 at that point. On the ensuing kickoff, Warford with a fair catch, a sliding catch from the Braves' 31-yard line, and the Braves got it going on this drive. Gibbs, hands off to Ragsdale. Ragsdale with a nice hole. Ragsdale dragged down, a gain of 16. 2nd down and 8, and on the end around, here is Warford. Warford with the 1st down, a gain of 12. 2nd down and 12. John Gibbs straight back to pass. Looks, flushed out. Stays on his feet, being chased from behind. Gibbs to the 30, Gibbs to the 25. Nice running by Gibbs. Inside the 15 to the 10, and Gibbs still driving to the 8. Here's Gibbs keeping it. Gibbs will score for the touchdown. So John Gibbs keeping it, and John Gibbs with the big run to set it up. That was a 69-yard drive.
Nice drive, big plays there, Rag. Had certainly some big ones. Nice job by John.
So it was a 7-6 game, Jay Hopson, at the end of the first. Little adversity early with the turnover, holding Grambling to 2 field goals early when they were in scoring position, and then we got it going on that 2nd drive.
Right, it was certainly, and that's a credit. Gave up a big play early defensively, but came back and held them to 2 field goals, which was a nice job. Again, we're going to give them the ball back again in some good field position, but to be up 7-6 was pretty good shape right there.
Talk about Grambling's defense.
They're aggressive, swarming defense. We knew that coming in. They definitely fly around to the ball really well, and they play aggressive football.
As we approach the 9 minutes after 6 o'clock, we'll take a timeout here. 601-877-6595, 601-877-6595. Send us an email, football@alcorn.edu. You can also tweet a question, tallmanradio at Twitter. You can follow me there. And we'll take a timeout here, and we'll be right back after this 1-minute break on the Jay Hopson Radio Show.
Keisha, you doing good?
I'm good, Coach. How about you?
Doing good.
This is Wprl 91.7 FM, Alcorn Public Radio. We welcome your emails or phone calls. For the music director, jmiles@alcorn.edu, 601-877-6594. For Charles Edmond, Operations Manager, it's cedmond@alcorn.edu, 601-877-2480. And for Myrtle Hedrick, Traffic Director, it's myrtle@alcorn.edu, 601-877-6290. WPRL 91.7 FM, your university community-minded radio station.
All right, welcome back to the Jay Hopson Radio Show. We want to welcome V105.5 in Vicksburg, joining in on the Jay Hopson Radio Show on this Monday night. Of course, V105.5 FM, 1490 AM, home of the Vicksburg Gators and the Warren Central Vikings. They're the flagship stations for those two high schools. So I want to welcome V105.5, Dalen Husky, the sports director, and Mark Jones, the program and owner and general manager of that station. So we want to welcome V105.5 in Vicksburg tuning in tonight. All right, as we look at the second quarter, Jay Hopson, there was a 4th down and goal opening up the second, a chip shot field goal from McRaney, but it was 4th down and goal from the 3-yard line.
The Rex snapped the Ragsdale. They got it to Let George. He was chased. And there was a flag on the edge, and they just put it up, and John Gibbs caught it. No, he dropped it. He dropped it. The ball hit the ground.
That was reviewed, and clearly Gibbs had it, and it was a nice throw by Let George. Talk about that situation.
Well, we went down there, and actually it wound up being a good situation because the next play we picked it off and got 7 points. So wound up being a +4. We didn't get the 7 points the way we wanted to get it, but 2 plays later we got the +4 that we wanted. So it was again, it was a tough throw and catch. John had it. The kid kind of came in behind and put his arm right in there, and the ball kind of it barely hit the ground, and we thought he might have cradled it right there with his knees, but it hit the turf.
So didn't get the first down there. The Tigers took over at the 3-yard line.
Straight back to pass. Looks, throws it down the field. It's intercepted! All right! That's why you don't kick the field goal.
Dave Crosby got that one right. All right, so now talk about the secondary in terms of how it played throughout the game.
I thought we played well. We had a couple breakdowns, but for the most part, those guys competed hard and played well.
So with the interception, the Braves got the football, and it was a good drive, but a wild game, as we talked about. Gibbs was picked off in the end zone, but it was wiped off the board, a face mask call against the Tigers. So it was 1st down and goal from Grambling 7, then 3rd down and goal from the Tigers 4-yard line.
3rd and goal, gives back to pass. Looks, throws underneath. It's caught. Touchdown. Marvin Ashley. Underneath. Touchdown for the Braves. Marvin Ashley makes it a 13-6 lead. They ran everybody deep. Everybody short was covered, and Marvin Ashley with the touchdown.
A drag route, and to tell you what, that's a tough, to me anyway, that seems to be a tough throw because you got everybody deep, short, you got to get that intermediate throw in.
Nice throw and catch by John to Marvin and big play.
So took advantage of that. It's 14-6 with 12:22 left till halftime. Grambling's next drive started at their own 25-yard line with 12:16 left until half. It was 2nd down and 10. Jonathan Williams with a 25-yard run. Just talk about his slipperiness in the pocket and outside the pocket.
Well, he's their gun. He makes them go. He's a young man that throws the ball well. He runs the ball well. Very talented young man, and like I said, he's their pistol.
So the Tigers, with that big run by Jonathan Williams, of 25 yards. Chester Rogers with the touchdown catch that made it a 14-12 game with the apparent PAT coming.
And they run the swing engage. It looks like they might go for two here. They go for two, and here's a throw wide open. 2-point conversion.
Talk about that.
Well, I thought we had him tackled. We left our guy, and they just threw it in there. But I thought we were going to get the 5-yard tackle for loss, and the young man did a good job holding on, and we kind of broke off coverage and found a guy wide open in the end zone.
Is that the same play that we saw last night with Indianapolis,
Well,
New
it's
England?
similar. We've seen it a few times. It's a similar play, but it's got a good play by Grambling. Give him credit.
What's the key when you see those formations? What is the key to try to prevent something like that?
Well, you just have to line up and play your defense, and that's in just whatever defense you have called. But because you're not in the kicking formation anymore.
Yeah. All right, so it's a 14-all game right there with 9:11 left in the second quarter. So as we fast forward here, next drive, we started at a 25-yard line and got to Grambling's 3 to let George with the big catch and run, and that set it up first down and goal from the 3-yard line.
Those two receivers left, I'm sorry. Here is Aaron Baker. Baker scores! So Aaron Baker, a PAT away from a 21-14 lead. He was not touched. Dave Crosby, and great run there by Baker.
So that was a good comeback.
Yeah, it was a nice answer by those.
So it was a 21-14 game on the ensuing kickoff. Tigers first and 10 from the 24, first and goal from the 10. And as we go to this particular play on the kickoff.
All right, here is the kick from Aiden McRaney. Sort of a short kick to the left. On the Braves. The Braves recovered. How about that? I believe they do have it, yes, at the 24.
They let it. Grambling let the ball bounce and didn't cover it, and a Brave alertly ran all the way down and got on the first bounce.
Jaron Harness. Well, you just never know what to expect here. The Braves have Grambling on their heels now.
Yep, that was a great deal there.
Great job by Hayden and Jay, and a nice big play. And fortunately we were able to capitalize on it.
So it's 28-14, Jay Hopson at halftime. So a back and forth game. We were down 3-0, 6-0, 7-6, 14-6, 14-all, then up 2 scores at halftime.
Yeah, and we actually had a chance right going into half because we off a punt. We had a muff punt, and we got the ball and had an opportunity. Just kind of ran out a little time, and so hoping we missed a field goal right before halftime. We're hoping to get another 3 on the board.
What was your speech to your team at halftime?
Well, as always, it's a 60-minute football game, not a 30-minute football game. We had the ball coming back out, which, you got to take the football and go get another score, and unfortunately we came out and had a big turnover that kind of gave them some momentum and put some life back into them. But, we just know it's another 30 minutes to go. It's not over at halftime, and our guys know that. And unfortunately, we didn't do what we needed to do in the second half to win.
Halfway through this one, halfway through the highlights, and we'll take a timeout here 17 minutes after 6 o'clock. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Give us a call, 601-877-6595, 601-877-6595. The Jay Hopson Radio Show will continue in 60 seconds.
Homecoming at Alcorn is a very special time. A lot to see and a lot to do. And you can add golf to your list of homecoming activities.
I missed the show
The Alcorn
Saturday.
State University
Did you?
I got a call. I'll be
Foundation
here
will have
on
the 7th annual
Okay.
Purple and Gold
Yeah,
Golf Tournament Friday, October 16th at the
I
Clear
don't ever
Creek
see
Golf
I see
Course
her after
in
the game,
Wapina.
that's it.
A 2-person scramble with the top 3 teams receiving prizes. There's even a huge monetary payout for all who win
I
one.
was feeling
For more
sick.
information, call the tournament directors, Dr. Henry Hank Harper at 601-750-7660 or Ms. Juanita Norwood at 601-209-1960.
I know, I
Or
was
Athletic
told
Director
one
Derek
coach he's
Ford at
been over twice, and I didn't know time to go. I said,
601-665-00.
"Look,
Corporate
you can't come
sponsorships
back."
available
Oh,
along with gold,
yeah, that's
silver,
here.
bronze,
Dad,
and
oh,
gold
we don't need
sponsorships.
that.
That's the 7th annual Purple and Gold Golf Tournament, Friday, October 16th at the Clear Creek Golf Course in Bovina. All a part of Homecoming 2015. Go Braves!
All right, 18 minutes after 6 o'clock here on the Jay Hopson Radio Show on the Alcorn Football Radio Network. The Braves are off this week, and they'll head down to Southern to take on the Jaguars, who lost on their homecoming to Prairie View in a high-scoring game. So it'll be an interesting contest down there at Mumford Stadium. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff, by the way. And if you're going down to Baton Rouge for the game, the Alumni Hotel in Baton Rouge is the Hilton Gardens Inn in Baton Rouge, Airport 3330 Harding Boulevard. Rooms are $109 for Saturday night with the group code ASUFBT. You can call 225-357-6177 to book your room today. It's a pretty good hotel, by the way, if you haven't been there, right by the airport. All right, as we look at the third quarter highlights, Jay Hopson, we had the momentum, and I believe that if we had scored again, especially a touchdown, I thought that we probably would have pulled away, knowing that Grambling probably would have tried to stretch the field. We had Jonathan Williams off balance a little bit, but the worst thing that we could have had was a turnover, and unfortunately we got that. Unfortunately, we turned it over in the third.
No question. That's not the way we wanted to start the second half, and they had a big play there with the turnover, and we got them in the fourth down, and they converted a huge fourth down.
Yep.
Twice. He was back to pass. Caught. Touchdown. Tigers. A quick hitter. Touchdown. GSU. Chad Williams with the touchdown on 4th down and 5 from the 10.
I thought, I caught when you look at their coach and Coach Fobbs, I thought he was going for it all right there. He knew that the way we were running the ball, he probably had to go for it there, even though it was somewhat of a game. Talk about that 4th down play defensively.
You know, it's a game of inches. You know, it really is. It's very close. It's a bang play. Stacy almost got to him, and the young man made a nice throw. I thought he was going to throw it over the receiver's head. The receiver did a great job getting it down, snagging it, and pulling it in for the touchdown. But you know, football is a game of inches, and this was certainly a testament to that, because there was certainly a lot of plays that were just so close. 28
to 21 at that point, and the Tigers would score again as Bazile, an 8-yard catch with 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. And just like that, Jay Hopson, you know, you talk about momentum, and you hear that term in sports all the time, and it just seemed like bam, thank you, ma'am. Once that turnover happened, then 2 touchdowns and a tie game.
It was a tie game, and then we settled down and bounced back, and give Grambling credit. They executed on some plays and made some critical plays. You know, I mean, it's like I said, that 4th and 5 is a big play. We stop them there, we're off the field, and no damage done. But we can't give them the ball in that type of field position. All right, we'll take a timeout. A lot to talk about in the fourth quarter. So that's why we're taking these breaks and try to get into this fourth quarter. A lot happening there, a 28-all game. We kind of knew it was going to be this type of game, this type of score, and it's what we expected. So we'll look at the fourth quarter highlights when we return. We got some emails coming in as well, and we'll be taking your phone calls at 601-877-6595, 601-877-6595. We'll take this time out, and we'll be right back as the Jay Hopson Radio Show continues.
Alcorn State University is a great place to receive a great education, and here's why. Alcorn is ranked as a top university in the top schools regional universities in the South category of the U.S. News and World Report Best Colleges rankings. There are other great reasons to choose Alcorn State University.
Whether it's personal, whether it's in education, anywhere you turn, there's always a helping hand.
If they want to be challenged, to learn and grow and be in an environment that is nurturing, in a place where they're not just a number, where people know you by name, then I would tell them to come to Alcorn.
For more information, call toll-free 1-800-222-6790 or visit us on the web at www.alcorn.edu.
You are tuned in to Wprl 91.7 FM, broadcasting from the campus of Alcorn State University.
All right, welcome back to the Jay Hopson Radio Show on this Monday night. And welcome back to the Jay Hopson Radio Show on this Monday night. Charles Edmond here with Jamario Brooks. There we go. All right, welcome back to the Jay Hopson Radio Show, 22 minutes after the hour. We're going to get to a phone call right here. Let's go to the phone lines. Good evening. How you doing?
Doing fine.
You have a question for Coach Hopson?
That's correct. 2 observations, and then I'll hang up and listen to his response. Coach, I noticed at the end of the game that a lot of the guys immediately went to the dressing room and didn't exchange handshakes. You know, I feel if you win with dignity, you have to lose with dignity. And also, the other thing is, seems like this year we're having problems getting the plays in from the sidelines. It looks like we changed the plays a lot, and it's causing us to, I guess, rush the plays. What's causing that?
Okay, thanks, Andre, for your calls. First, I didn't certainly see that, the first thing, but certainly, hopefully, you know, we always go over and shake hands. I know I'm the first one over there, so hopefully all the guys will go. And sometimes there might be a couple young men that get heartbroken, but you're exactly right on that. You always are a good sportsman in everything you do. Secondly, we definitely didn't have a good operation, especially in that second half, as far as just the timing of getting plays in. You know, and I think that's something. That's the first time I've seen that this year, and I'm sure we'll clean that up for next week. But certainly in that second half, it was you know, it was taking a while to get some stuff in, and you're definitely 100% right on the money, and it's something we've got to clean up.
When you look at that, that was in the fourth quarter. That was early in the fourth quarter. It seemed like that fourth quarter really dragged on. It was probably a 3 or 4 minute span there in which we burned a timeout, delay a game, and just guys running on and off.
Yeah, we definitely did. I mean, it was one of those deals and that's the first time I'd seen that this whole season. You know, and I think offensively, I think we understood that, and I think that's something that we're not going to let happen again.
All right, so as we look at the highlights here, early fourth quarter, Hayden McRaney, 27-yard field goal. There's a delay of game there, Jay Hopson. That's what we were talking about. The 27-yard field goal, the delay of game pushed us back 5. So it was a 32-yard field goal. It was missed, but Grambling was called for roughing the kicker. So we had it 1st and goal from the 9. Procedure penalty, then called a timeout. And as the Braves got a very good deal right here on this play.
Gibbs back to pass. Looking right. Gibbs, take down, catch, Vessel. Touchdown. Touchdown. Oh, they say he's down at the 1. Oh, bull. They say his knee went down at the 1. He didn't get in. He did not get in. 4th and goal.
I want to see a replay of this.
They'll probably look at it.
They're putting it on the 1-yard line.
They'll look at it here. Gibbs took off, and here is Vessel cutting it to the right, and he spins his rear end about the half-yard line.
Yeah, that's clearly what the replay showed.
I mean, it's close, it's touch and go, but again, it's on that. You know, I thought it was on the half too. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a half-yard line play, and so. You know, I mean, you couldn't tell. Like I said, I couldn't tell from film study that he crossed it. I mean, it is so touch and goes. But they spotted on the half, so ball's on the half, and you know, so that's where they spotted it.
It was 4th down and goal.
He did not get it. He did not get it. The Braves went for it on 4th down from the 1 and did not get in.
So talk about the decision, 3 versus 7.
Well, you know, we missed 2 field goals, and even the one we missed before we'd missed, you know what I'm saying, and after we'd already kicked it, they kind of ran into us before, so we missed 2, and I'm just kind of old school, Charles. If you can't get a half a yard, as my old high school coach, and it's like Vince Lombardi says, if you can't get a half a yard, you don't deserve to win. So at the end of the day, give Grambling credit.
So on that 4th down play, did not get the 1st down, so the Tigers took over. And ASU burned a timeout on defense. It was 3rd down and 7 from the 10. Jonathan Williams picked up 10 yards, so that kept the drive going. And then as it continues, a 3rd down and 7 play, an incomplete pass. Then Eric Foster, Jay Hopson, called for pass interference.
Yeah, good call. We actually did have interference right there.
So that kept the drive going. Again, 3rd down and long. Domino picked up a 1st down. They're on 42-yard line. So as we pick up the action right here, it's 3rd down and 4.
34 from the 48. Jonathan Williams looks checked down. This is incomplete. It was behind the intended receiver, Chad Williams. He would have had a 1st.
So, as the Braves got the football after that incomplete pass at their own 17-yard line, there was 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in the game. And boy, it was a game of big plays and big opportunities. And here's one right here, 3rd down and 10.
Oh, they roll to his right. Gibbs looks, hits as he throws. Caught. Charles Hughes with a big 1st down catch.
So that keeps the drive alive. A gain of 15. Another big third down on the drive. 3rd down and 2 from their own 40-yard line.
Gibbs out of the shotgun. Back to pass. Steps up again. Gibbs
He's got all the 40.
Gibbs to the 30. Gibbs brought down at the 23. So first down for the Braves, and it was wide open for John Gibbs at the 23-yard line.
Injured player here for Alcorn in the back here.
I believe that's Warford.
So talk about that situation there on that big run by Gibbs.
Yeah, they had a holding call, and so that was what negated that. And certainly just a big opportunity there if we get down there, but we got pushed back, and so we got I think it was 1st or 2nd down there, 2nd long.
So Ragsdale 10-yard run, 1st down at midfield, a minute left in the game at this point. Gibbs flushed to the right, the line of scrimmage, and threw it away. 2nd down and 10 here as we pick this up. 2nd down and 10. Then that was called back. There was a holding play, 2nd down and 20 from the 40, 3rd and 20. And then Gibbs was called for grounding. He took a timeout. I'll talk about this 10-second runoff. The official said we called the timeout to prevent the 10-second runoff.
Right. Well, the thing is they'll add the 10 seconds back, so we certainly didn't want to add any time on the clock. We wanted to keep the clock where it was. So if you don't call the timeout, they have the option.
Also, there would have been 20 seconds.
Right.
Also, with the 10-second runoff, it kept it right there. And overtime. So, Jay Hopson, when you look at the 4th quarter, it was back and forth. There were some opportunities.
Yeah, no question. We had opportunities throughout the day, that's we have to take advantage of those opportunities. Give Grambling credit. They made plays. It was a hard-fought football game. They're 5-0 in the conference for a reason, but we certainly, it's kind of like last year. We certainly had that sick feeling in your stomach because you let some plays go.
So we'll talk about the overtime when we come back. We'll get a station ID, and we'll talk about the overtime period at Spinks Castle. 28 all going into the OT. We'll have the highlights coming up in 1 minute on the Jay Hopson Radio Show.
Wprl 91.7 FM has always tried to stay one step ahead of the curve, and we've done it again with a new and improved website, Wprl.org. It's got all the latest in national and local news, as well as your favorite WPRL shows and personalities. From these Worthy to be Praised gospel program with Jay Miles to Jazzy Jazz, R&B with Jamario Brooks, student shows, and of course, all of your Alcorn State University sports broadcasts. You can listen to WPRL.org from your cell phone or tablet, Android or Apple. Just go to TuneIn Radio and type in Life 91.7 WPRL in the search box. Anytime, anywhere, any source, desktop, laptop, cell phone or tablet, WPRL has you covered. For more information, call 601-877-6290. All of this from 91.7 WPRL and on WPRL.org. All right, it is the bottom of the hour. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Alcorn Football Radio Network.
You are tuned in to Wprl 91.7 FM, broadcasting from the campus of Alcorn State University.
All right, Charles Edmond head football coach Jay Hopson joining us here. And give us a call, 601-877-6595, 601-877-6595. Andre called in a little while ago. We appreciate that. You can send us an email, football@alcorn.edu. We'll get to those coming up. And you can tweet a question, Tall Man Radio. You can follow me on Twitter. All right, Jay Hopson, the OT, the overtime, a little bit different than what people might expect in terms of what you do when you win the coin toss. Explain the strategy for OT, starting with the coin toss.
Well, you always play defense if you win the coin toss because you want to see what you have to do. So we certainly were fortunate enough to win it, and we certainly played deep.
All right, so the Tigers had it 1st down and 10 at the 25-yard line going in.
1st and goal. Hunters in motion. Here is Carter cutting it back inside, driving. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown, Tigers.
Ball came loose, Charles. You're going to have to review this one, too.
I thought there might have been a review, but obviously there wasn't there.
Yeah,
It came loose, and I thought maybe they would at least take a look at it, even though
Right.
it was pretty. It appeared obvious, but in a game like that, you want to at least take a look.
take a look, right? And it marked that he stepped out of bounds at the 5.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, there's a couple of close ones like that. The touchdown with Brandon, that was certainly close. You know, I've spent probably 30 minutes today trying to figure that one out. I just couldn't get a great angle, and that was close. And even the touchdown, I think it was a TD, but it was close.
So that they score, but here was the play that set it up.
Rogers in motion. End around Rogers. Rogers to the 25, 20, 15, 10. Dives. Does he get in? They're going to mark him short, I believe.
So they marked him short. They looked at it, and he did go out at the 5. And, of course, we know the Tigers went up 35-28 with the PAT. So we know what the Braves have to do. Touchdown and a PAT to send it to a second overtime. So let's look at that. ASU first down and 10 from the Tigers' 25-yard line. There's a 3rd down and 3 from the 19.
For the first down. John Gibbs out of the shotgun. Baker to his right. 3 receivers right. Playing clock at 14. Gibbs rolling to his right. Rolling. Gibbs taking off to the 20. Gibbs to the 13. It's a first down. Where they're widening Grambling's defense, and Gibbs squirming and making it happen. An injured Tiger player getting up.
So Gibbs first down. That was a big run there. And then Warford on the end around tried to make something happen and lost 17 on the play. I mean, you love his energy. His motor's going 1,000,000 miles an hour. That was tough right there.
Yeah, tough. Tough loss, and just a lesson for Marquise. Just take it, and sometimes it's not there. Just get what you can.
So the loss of 17 on that play was a 3rd down and 24 here from the 27-yard line.
Gibbs back to pass. Steps up. Gibbs points. Throws. Incomplete. Flag. Yeah. Pass interference. Pass against for Jordan Payne.
Yeah, Jordan Payne was the intended receiver, and they threw the flag right there.
All right, so with that pass interference, it was first down and 10 from the 12-yard line. Gibbs a 5-yard run to the 7-yard line.
George in motion. Gibbs will keep it. Gibbs trying to get to the outside. And Gibbs gets in for the touchdown. So it's 35-34. The PAT coming up.
All right, so it's a PAT, and we go to a second overtime.
35-34. Gotta make it. Snap back ball now. Kick is blocked. Grambling wins.
Kick is blocked. Grambling wins.
Snap back ball down. Oh, straight up the middle. Jamison Goings, the senior from Gulfport. Straight up the middle.
Wow, what a play, huh?
So that's the way it ended. Jay Hopson, when you look at it, we looked at the replay, and he was straight up the middle and just got his hands up, left his feet, and got the block.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those deals where looking back, I wish I'd have gone for 2, and it's just one of those things in coaching. We hadn't kicked the ball real well all day, you know what I'm saying? So, it's one of those deals where I think, I'm usually, me, Charles, I always go with my gut. And you know what? I should have gone with my gut, because my gut was, we just wanted to kick and field. We'd already missed 2, and a couple of them were just, and I was just like, so, it's one of those deals that as a coach, you go back and, you sit back and you sit there and say, hey, wish we would have, but we didn't, and, it is what it is. We gotta get back and get ready to go next week,
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually, because as you mentioned, it's been a struggle, kicking the ball all in long, and a 2-point conversion would have been something that they probably wouldn't have expected, because they would probably be gambling.
You just win, lose, or draw, really,
Yeah.
because what happens is you go in and all of a sudden you kick it, you know, you make it fine. If you go for 2 and don't get it, everybody says, why didn't you kick it? You know, but just the way we had been kicking, and you know, just that we just weren't, just kind of wasn't our day to day with that phase, and so you know, looking back, you always that's the great thing about coaching. You always get to look back at a game on Saturday night and say, well, I wish I'd done this. But certainly, you know, we got to protect better. We got to make our extra points.
So the Braves lose in overtime, 35-34. We'll take a timeout and we'll take a look at the game a little bit, and we'll get into the transition of the bye week. I know for Braves fans, yours truly too, it was tough. It was a great crowd. Folks sitting on the hills, probably 20 years since we'd seen something like that. You know, the game that McNair broke the record, the 1AA record. I mean, that type of crowd. I mean, you can kind of see it building the whole week, and folks marking off tailgate spots last Friday. I mean, it was just one of those deals. You just knew it was going to be that type of day, and it was a great day, great crowd, great atmosphere, great game. And the Braves lose in overtime. We'll take a 1-minute break, and we'll be right back. We'll get to the emails, the phone calls, and the tweets, all that coming up. 39 minutes after 6 o'clock, we'll be back in 1 minute on the Jay Hopson Radio Show.
Get ready, ASU and surrounding areas, as the Alcorn State University Extension Program hosts the Extension This Week radio show. Extension This Week will offer weekly highlights of Extension's current and future programs, events, and activities. It will also offer important information in areas such as community gardening, health and fitness, and
Believe me,
community
Keisha, I understand.
We will air
You talking to
live
somebody that
information
understands.
every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. hosted by 4-H specialist Manola Irvin. So tune in to WPRL 91.7 FM, Alcorn Public Radio, or you can also listen on the web at www.wprl.org.
Crazy things. Like Michigan State, how crazy is that? You know,
All right, welcome back to the Jay Hopson Radio Show on this Monday night. Just want to say, as a person that followed the whole homecoming activities throughout the whole week, I just want to say personally, good job by everybody involved from the parade. My wife was in the parade, the concert. Everybody involved did an outstanding job, and it's one of the best homecomings I've been a part of here at Alcorn in the 24 years that I've been here. So I just want to say personally, thanks to everyone, just a job well done. All right, let's get to the phone calls. Mr. Weathersby joining us from the Delta here on the Jay Hopson Radio Show via the phone lines. Good evening, Mr. Weathersby. How you doing?
Man, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
No, I just had a question I wanted to ask the coach.
Okay. Mr. Weathersby, if you could do me a favor, if you could turn your speakers down, because there's a little bit of feedback there, and there is a delay, by the way. If you're listening to us online, when you call in, you'll be able to hear in real time the phone call, but if you're listening through your speakers, there is a little bit of a delay. So go ahead, Mr. Weathersby.
That was a great ball game Saturday.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Do you have a question?
When you was on the goal line,
Right.
Okay, I think he turned his speakers down.
okay, is that?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Yeah, coach.
Yes.
It was a great ball game on Saturday. Yeah. I was wondering, when you was on the goal line, where was Baker? You know, usually you run him on the goal line, and he didn't get the ball. I was just wondering, was he hurt?
No, and that's I think, you know, and Rag and Baker are two hard runners, and Baker is a hard runner, but Rag's, you know, he's a starter, and but I, you know, certainly, you know, both of them are two tough running backs, but I, you know, Bake's a tough one too, so I understand, you know, you never know. He probably done a good job too, but really it wasn't Rag's fault. I thought they just kind of whipped us up front on that play.
You know, I've been following the team, and down there, when you're going straight ahead, usually Baker doesn't lose any yards.
Yeah, he's a good one, coach, in there, and he is, and you know, that's something that I can, you know, definitely, I understand what you're saying, and you're probably right.
Did you get away from your power goal line offense that you've been using in the past?
No, we still run our power offense in the past. I think probably what probably got us a little bit, Coach, more than anything, is we kind of thought the guy had scored, you know, and then Brandon had stuck it in, and then all of a sudden he hadn't, and so we had our personnel on the field right there, and so we just ran what we ran out of that personnel grouping, you know, and that's what happened.
It was a good ball game, you know. We enjoy everything, but
yeah, I know, Coach. I know. And trust me, you've been through it quite a few times, and I know. I told somebody, 25 years I've been through a few too, and it's never fun. It always stinks. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, Coach Weathersby joining us from the Delta. We've got a couple of questions from the Twitter feed from Mr. T, number one. Is Warford okay after that stint where he got up slowly?
He's fine. You know, he's a tough cookie. He really is. He's a competitor, and he'll be fine.
Then another tweet from Keaston Beeman. How determined is the team to get back to Houston and hopefully to see Grambling again?
Well, it's certainly a motivation. At the end of the day, we've got to handle our business. They've certainly kind of gone to the forefront on the western side, you know, so certainly we've got to just take care of our games week to week. We can't worry about all that right now, and all we can worry about is Southern right now.
All right, Coach, as you look at the game, talk about the positives coming out of it. I know it was a tough one, but just some of the things that were pleasing to you in the game.
Well, there's a lot of things. I mean, we battled back not only early in the first quarter. I thought defensively, I'll start defensively. Defensively, I thought there was a couple times we were in minus or negative situations, and we bowled her back and held them to field goals or got off the field, so that was a positive. I thought offensively, you know, we did some good things. First half, we really were you know, I thought moving the ball extremely well. We were running, throwing, doing a lot of good things there. But, you know, we slowed down in the second half. And after we got down or got tied up 28-28, we bounced back. We answered back, you know, with some nice ball control drives. Certainly in overtime, when you get down a touchdown and you're 3rd and 24 or whatever we were, and to come back and to have the opportunity to tie the game shows a lot of resilience. You know, we never quit. That's one thing about this football team. You're never going to quit. They're going to fight to the end. You know, it's a tough loss. You know, an overtime loss or a 1-point loss, those are the hard ones always. But like the email said before, the only way you can do anything about it is get prepared week to week, put yourself in a position to get back to possibly play that game again.
And when you look at it, Coach, a game like that, you know, going into the locker room, I know it was I assume that there was pretty emotional in the locker room afterwards.
Yeah, you know, and I talked to the guys about it. You know, losing is all, I mean, I'm the head coach. I mean, I take full responsibility on everything. No kid ever, they played hard. They always do. I mean, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to have missed assignments. But at the end of the day, that's the beauty of it. I always tell them, no man ever wins or loses a football game. You know, I say, if you ever got to point a finger, just point right at me. I said, these shoulders are big enough to take it any time. But our guys, you know, they played hard, man. They really did. We just didn't make a play here or there. And, you know, unfortunately, that's football. You know, every Saturday, 50% of the teams in America lose, 50% of them win. We just have to understand we got to bounce back now. You know, and that's the reality. You can't do anything about it. It's water under the bridge. It's done. But we know we got a good football team, and I think our young men would like that opportunity to play this game again. But we have to handle other business if we're going to achieve that opportunity.
So we look at the final numbers with a solid rushing attack again, and Grambling was #1 in the conference against the run, and we wound up with 218 yards rushing.
You know, statistically, we pretty much dominated the stats, you know, in the game. And it's always kind of tough to lose a game when you dominate the stat line. But guess what? That's why stats don't count. You've got to, we've got to do little things better. We've got to hold on to the football. We've got to not give teams short fields. We've got to not give up big plays. We've got to just do a few things better. But our guys played hard. Our coaches had a really good plan. And, like I said, we got to get ready for the game in 2 weeks. And, this one we can never do anything about. So we just move on to the next one.
Ragsdale had 80 yards total in one of the fumbles. You talk about playing hard. I thought that one of the fumbles that he had, and looking at the replay of it, the pile stood up, then went forward. They didn't blow the whistle, then was pushed back.
Yeah.
And they probably could have blew the whistle.
Yeah. That's one thing we probably got to do. Some of our turnovers, when we're fighting for that extra yard, there comes a time you just got to go down, because nowadays they don't blow the whistle. They just kind of lets it, so really the momentum stopped. There's 19 guys jumping in there. There's 5 guys raking at your arm. There comes a time you just got to drop. And sometimes some of our guys like Rag is such a tough competitor. He's going to try to bull over anybody he sees. And, sometimes you just got to, and it's that fine line. You want your running back churning his legs, working hard for that extra yard, digging deep. But then again, there comes a time where, that extra half a yard on 1st and 10, it's not going to be that big of a difference between 2nd and 6 and 2nd and 5. So just don't give them that opportunity to get in there and get the ball out. We've lost quite a few over the last couple of years like that, fighting for that extra foot, which probably isn't as important. Now, if it's 3rd and a foot or 4th and a foot, that foot is that important. So that's just little things that we probably just have to address and get a little bit better at.
All right, it's 50 minutes after. Let's go back to the phone lines. Eugene calling in. Good evening, Eugene.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good evening, Eugene.
Coach, my question is, I think I kind of missed it when I called in, but concerning Ragsdale, he is a great runner, run hard, and he get an A for effort, but putting the ball on the ground at crucial times, is there any kind of thing, anything that you could do, at this stage in his career, being a senior and everything, to correct the, just to get him to hold on to the ball? What could be done about that at this stage? Because I think he's great, and I think he still has a future in the NFL, me personally, because I think he's a great running back. Right. But, that's one thing that's got to be corrected.
Well, Rag, I think just kind of what we were talking about. I think he's a young man. He is such a competitor, and he's such a tough young man. Rag, I don't know if you remember last year we played at Grambling, he broke his arm, had one bone. They showed me the x-ray. It was like one bone was about an inch below the other bone, and he's just like, tape it, coach, I can go. And the next week he's like, I can play. He's just tough. But I think just talking to Charles, I think that's something that sometimes, nowadays they really just don't blow the whistle. And a lot of his turnovers occur when he's fighting for that extra yard and really don't blow the whistle. So they really, even when your momentum stops, sometimes they let that play go on for 3 or 4 more seconds. And, you got 6 guys over there grabbing at your arm. And that's something, we talked to him today about, and we're going to talk tomorrow and the rest of the week. There comes that time between, you just got to go down and not worry about gaining that extra half yard on 1st and 10 or 2nd and 10, because it's not worth it. And back in the day when momentum stopped, usually the whistle was blown pretty quick. But most of Rags, a lot of them occur like that. The other one that was, the young man just kind of put the helmet on the ball, which is always a tough one. But certainly he's a competitor, and there's nobody tougher, and he's been such a big playmaker for us, and we love him to death, and he's our running back, and he's going to bounce back, and he'll have a big game. All right.
All right, we appreciate you calling in. We'll take a time out here, 52 minutes after the hour. A bye week coming up for the Braves, and it's on to Baton Rouge next week as the Braves take on Southern University at 4 o'clock. We'll take a 1-minute break. We'll give you the SWAC report. We can squeeze in another call or two, 601-877-6595. Football@allcorn.edu. You can send us an email. We've already had a couple of tweets. You can do that. You tweet me at Tallman Radio. So we'll take a time out. We'll be right back in 1 minute.
If you're a business owner and are looking to promote your product, look no further than to Alcorn State University Athletics Marketing and Advertising. A great way to get the word out. Whether it's on pocket schedule cards, whether it's radio advertising on the Alcorn Sports Radio Network, whether it's online, whether it's website advertising on alcornsports.com, signage at the various athletic venues, as well as game sponsorship opportunities. Athletics has it all. For more information, call Athletics Director Derek Horn at 601-877-6500 or Larry Smith at 601-877-2413. Great sponsorship packages are available. That's Alcorn State University Athletics Marketing and Advertising. For more information, call Derek Horn at 601-877-6500 or Larry Smith at 601-877-2413.
All right, welcome back to the Jay Hopson Radio Show. Charles Edmond here, Jamario Brooks across the way. Glad you can join us on the Alcorn Football Radio Network. Let's get to our SWAC report. Texas Southern beat Mississippi Valley 49-21. Jackson State with the first game of the interim head coach in Huntsville. Alabama A&M won 28-22 in that game. And Prairie View spoiled Southern's homecoming, winning 47-42. So as we look at it, Alabama A&M, Jackson State, and Prairie View over Southern 47-42. We have Keisha here in the studio joining us. Keisha, in case many of you didn't know, the last couple of years has been a part of the Jay Hopson Show. She's called in. She lives down in the Houston area, and she was here for homecoming. So we have Keisha here. Good evening.
Good evening, guys. How are you all?
Good evening, Keisha. Good to have you on the studio.
I'm glad to be here, like physically. It was just good to be back for homecoming, to see everybody, and of course to see you, Coach.
Always a pleasure.
Even though
we don't get your call in today, though. We get
right, you get me live and in person.
That's right.
Well, first of all, I want to ask: is Hayden okay?
Yes, he's okay. He got hit really on that second field goal. He got kind of hit low in the leg, but he's okay.
Okay, because I know I saw like some limping or something,
Yeah,
and I didn't know if
right
that may
that
have
was actually that we were down on that half a yard or yard. And,
right.
But I still believe that to my core anyway. If you ain't getting that half a yard or yard, hey, so what?
Okay, so another question. And I think the past couple of years we've had this thing with Southern. I always tell you how the outcome is going to be. What do you plan, like, what are you going to tell the guys, like, to encourage them?
We're going to go back to work. Yeah, we have to do what we got to do, each week. We don't really change our rhythm, Keisha, or our routine. And we just got to execute better at a high level, and I think that's just the trick.
Okay. Well, good luck. I'll be there.
Thank you, Keisha.
One quick question for you, Keisha. How well did you enjoy homecoming?
Oh, my goodness. It was almost overwhelming. I have not seen homecoming like that in a long time, and I haven't missed a homecoming in forever, even before I was a student here. So
such a beautiful setting, wasn't it?
It was, I mean, like, crazy. I think the numbers today, they said it was like over 30,000 people, and that was in the game. Not counting people who were still tailgating.
And there's a lot of people still tailgating.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's such a beautiful atmosphere at Alcorn. It really is. And for people that have not been on the campus, when you see the campus lit up, I can remember it was Thursday night or Friday night, and everybody was here on campus, and there's not many places on this planet that are more beautiful than Alcorn when it's lit up like that.
And we're just hoping that we can keep this momentum going, we can keep this train going, so not just our homecoming, but we can get all of our home games to look like that. I mean, we want those days back again, so you keep doing what you're doing in the team, and we'll do our part to try to get the people in.
All right, thanks, Keisha.
All right, Keisha in studio joining us was at the homecoming festivities. All right, Coach, we got about 2.5 minutes left. I was thinking about this when I woke up this morning. Unfortunately, we've been down this road before. We lost to Grambling, and we got it together.
Well, we're at the exact same, and that's one thing we talked about after the game. We're at the exact same point we were last year, 3-1 in the league with a tough loss to Grambling. That happened last year at the same time, and we have to bounce back. I mean, that's what championship football teams do and good football teams do, and that's just the reality of it, you know. I've been doing this for 25 years, so like Coach called in, you know, it's, if you do it long enough, you have those close adrenaline pump wins, and you have those heartbreaking losses. But at the end of the day, we always talk about it. We'll count our chips up at the end, and you know, we've got to get ready for Southern. That's the reality.
Is the same work schedule for this bye week like it was 2 weeks ago?
No, we'll put in a little bit more. You know, I think that one was probably a little bit more of our bye week. This is going to be a work. You know, we're going to treat this one more like a game week.
So Braves head football coach Jay Hopson joining us. Coach, this was a tough one, but hey, still another half of season to play, and anything's possible in the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
You never know.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it.
Thanks, Charles.
We'll talk to Coach next week, of course, here on the Jay Hopson Radio Show. On this Monday night, of course, the Braves are off this week, and they will play Southern in Baton Rouge at 4 o'clock next Saturday from Mumford Stadium, sort of an earlier kickoff time than what we expect when we go down there. The Braves 3-1 in the conference. Bama State 3-3. A&M 2-2. So we'll be following that. I think Alabama A&M plays Bama State this weekend in the Magic City. So that'll be a score that we will be watching very closely. Next week on the Jay Hopson Radio Show, we'll have some interviews for you coming up. We're going to talk with Marcus Ward, the Vice President of Institutional Advancement. He'll join us. Larry Smith will join us. Inducted to the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. So we'll be talking with him, of course, next week. And we get ready for Southern University. Southern University next week. Southern taking on Texas Southern in Houston. So we'll be following that game. That'll do it for the Jay Hopson Radio Show. For Jamaria Brooks, I'm Charles Edmond on the Alcorn Football Radio Network. So long.
Is Magic City this week or next week?